we're back again with another video. Obviously we are matching, which is a rare occasion for us because we never met and we probably never dress up quite like this, but it's for you guys, so congrats for that. We are excited to talk about the answer to our prayers, and I think I'm going to title this video The Miracle, or Our Miracle. Many of us don't ever get the chance to experience a miracle, and we fully understand and are so grateful that we got to. Many people who have health conditions, many of you guys out there, have never gotten it and have prayed long and hard for one, and we are praying with you. We hope you stay encouraged. We hope that hearing our answer to prayer encourages you to keep praying. And we also just want to thank everybody who has prayed for this miracle that we have, and we're so excited to get to talk to you guys about that today. So, Jared, I'd love for you, obviously my mom, who is not wanting to be videoed in this, was a huge part of Jared getting accepted and going to Dr. Patel in South Carolina. And we just want to shout out him. We'll be shouted out in several of our videos, but he was like the first one. I just wanted you to kind of talk through that. I don't want to give it away, but kind of when you guys went to South Carolina, what were your thoughts? And then when you heard what he had to say, like, what was that like?
Yeah, so basically we ended up hearing about Dr. Patel through a forum. There's a bunch of people. We might be able to give the link down the description below of the forum. But there was a forum of people that had gone through pineal cyst surgeries as well. So I'm not the only one, luckily. Right. And there was a lot of other people, and so they were recommending Dr. Patel, which was from South Carolina. And we ended up just saying, hey, you know, it sounds like this guy knows what he's doing. We looked up a couple of videos about him. You can actually look him up on YouTube and see those videos as well, if you're interested. But we ended up going down there. Actually, we didn't actually go down there. The story is actually before that. We ended up calling him up and just asking for an appointment. And they said, hey, we'll put you on, out till February. And it was supposed to be just the appointment to meet up, see if I was even a candidate for the surgery. And then we ended up getting called up, and they're like, hey, we can put you up to November. November, I think, 14th or somewhere around there.
Something, like that, yeah.
Yeah, and they said, you know, we can bring you out right now if you're ready. And so we ended up just booking a flight, I think 2 days or a day before. It was crazy. And flying out there. And we got there, and we ended up going to the appointment, and he just walked into the room, and it was like, you know, you've been experiencing double vision, you've been experiencing, shakiness, tremors, you've been experiencing all these symptoms. He just kept on listing them all one by one by one, and he was like, okay, that's good to know. He looked at the report, looked at the MRIs. We had 2 of them. We had the first one and the last one. He looked at them, and he was like, yes, this is your problem. The pineal cyst is causing your issues. So he's like, I could do the surgery. When do you want to do it? And he's like, if you want to go home, pray about it or, talk about it, I totally understand. And we're like, I already felt, I was praying before, and I was like, God, if he says yes, we'll go yes. And I was just like, no, I'm ready. So he's like, okay, when's as soon as you can make it out here, in a week? Or something like that. So we were like, yeah, sure. So we came back home and got ready. I talked to Melanie and my dad, and we ended up just flying out there as a whole family. And 3 days after that, we went to surgery. So it was crazy. It was just boom, bada boom. I mean, we've been waiting for so long. It seemed like it was going so fast, but it was a miracle, an answer to prayer.
What was it like to have, you mentioned like Dr. Patel to start to list off the symptoms that you were having, that every doctor, like we listed to you guys before, so many, right? So many doctors. And he finally just started coming out with, you have this, you have that. What was the emotion when he started to say those things to you? I
mean, it was crazy, because when you get told you're crazy, even by Mayo, the people that are supposed to be able to locate it down. Not to bash Mayo, I'm saying they're great at narrowing things down, but it's definitely something that isn't widespread or accepted in the medical field, it feels like. And a lot of people don't think it causes problems. And it does. It does cause problems. Evidence of that. So, it was a great feeling because like it felt like someone finally understood me. He wasn't calling me crazy. He's like, people probably told you you're crazy or psycho. You don't know what you're talking about. He's like, I'm here to tell you you're not. And that was just a really nice feeling. Just to all those emotions, all those things that get pented up for years and. Actually, just a year. It felt like years though, but it just felt like it could let loose, and like you're finally, hey, I'm near the end, and this guy is gonna help, and praying to God obviously that he would use it, but I had a peace. I felt like I had a peace about it, and I knew God was in control, and I know this is the path He wanted me to take. So
yeah, and I think for all of us as a family, I mean. I'm not going to take any of what he's gone through. But I think for us as like a family, hearing a yes, and then trusting God in that yes, you think like, oh yeah, once you get the yes, like all your fears go away. I think for us, and I think even for you, like there was a point where it was like, okay, yes? Like really yes? And I think that was interesting because I think what we were saying yes to was brain surgery. And for anybody who's had a loved one who's gone through something like that, and it's not the only operation that's crazy critical. If they make one wrong move, something happens. But I think for like a loved one, it was extremely hard to walk and like, okay, yeah, this is what we've been praying for. What you guys have been praying for, what our family's been praying for, what friends have been praying for. And yet, it's kind of scary when you finally get a yes. Do you want to share anything about that? Kind of what you were feeling, or was there like?
I was conflicted at the start. It was you get no, and then you're like yes, and you're like, okay, I was wanting a yes, but then I'm not sure about the yes, and I felt like it took a while for me to get used to that yes, and be confident in it. A lot of prayer. I felt like it was encouraging to hear that there was 130 people, like plus, that have gone through the surgery before me with this doctor. So I'm like, well, and he said he never had a bad one. I mean, there's a few that didn't solve their problems because they had prior conditions. But it was just amazing to hear that, at least, this is my problem and it solved the problem. So that was a little bit of a, okay, I can breathe. I can breathe easy, knowing I'm doing.
For sure.
And then prayer, obviously, and feeling like God wanted me to do this. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, like we said, it happened really, really fast. And a lot of it we didn't want to share because it was just sensitive. We were out of the state. Like, a lot of things had to fall in place, and we were just really busy. But for those who did know and did pray, thank you. We appreciate them. But we wanted to loop you guys all in at this point. But I wanted to talk through, obviously you had the COVID test experience, which is pleasant for anybody who's had it. And
it's actually not too bad. It feels kind of like if you're shoving something, like a swab, to the back of your nose.
Gross.
And then you hold it back there for like 10 seconds. It's not bad. So if you have to go through the test, I will tell you it's not bad. So, I mean, maybe some people would be worse for you. I don't know, but for me, it wasn't bad. So.
And he's a gagger, but anyway. So you did that. We got the okay. That kind of was the last hurdle to kind of get through. Talk us through so disclaimer, guys. He has not read the surgery report that the doctor wrote. We have it. I have not read it either.
If there is anyone out there going through a similar situation, please contact Melanie, or I guess you can just contact us directly.
Yeah.
And just tell us, that you're going through it, and we can give you like a gist of what all the surgery notes were, and because it goes into pretty big detail. So. We
know that everybody's different and everybody faces it, but this surgery is kind of all similar, how he would do it, how he would process that. And we may do a video kind of just when we go into disclaiming some of the different operations and different tests that he's done. we may decide to do it then. It's a little graphic. My mom read it and was like, I almost threw up. And so we don't want to make anybody gag on our channel.
I
So
haven't read it yet, so yeah.
we're gonna kind of go through from his perspective and what the doctor told him on this channel, on this video, but we're not gonna go into the medical, like what type of screws they were, what kind of plate they was. Like, we're not going into extreme detail, just kind of what the doctor told you. So
Yeah.
let's talk through that. Obviously, with COVID, my mom was the only one that was able to go into the hospital with you. The rest, me and my dad had to stay in a hotel, and that's a whole nother story. We can do a whole nother video. But
Yes.
that was an experience.
That was like the storm before the storm.
Yeah,
Of what we went through down there, so.
for sure. So we're just going to talk about the surgery in this video, and then we're going to talk about recovery and kind of after the surgery in the hospital and after. So what did they do? How did they do it? Guys, if you get squeamish, as a heads up, sorry. But go ahead.
So yeah, basically at the start of the surgery, it was how early in the morning? I want to say 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
It was
something like
really
that.
early.
Yeah.
Dark outside. Basically, we drive up to the front. I get out. We both get out. We walk in. Got to go through a little bit of security, and then you walk up to the desk, and you basically go up into a room. You're allowed to go to the bathroom if you want, and you wait in this room for a little while. They call you back, put you on a bed. Actually, you have to change first to a gown. You can only wear a gown. I'm sorry for those people who like to keep their clothes on, but obviously you can't. They don't give you any pants either, so, but you wear a gown. There's a whole other story about that. But you wear one of those, they give you an IV, set you up with an IV, and usually your hand, actually, weirdly enough, but I guess they don't want it in your arm, so they do it in your hand. And they start an IV, just to give some liquid in your body, because you're not allowed to eat or drink anything in that morning.
Just like typical pre-op
Yeah.
surgery. Anybody who's been through operation probably knows that part. Yeah, for sure.
And then once you get into the room, basically you're in a bed, they start to get you, put e-pads all over, so basically regular things like Melanie's saying. And then basically I have all the doctors come back, and they come back and talk to you. Like I had one of them come back and explain the whole thing. And so that's where we're going to get into explanation, because I don't actually know what went on in the room. I was knocked out. So that is one thing they're going to do. They're going to knock you out. And basically they give you a little bit of anesthesia. I think certain amounts. If you tell them you get really queasy with the anesthesia, I think they actually do regulate it closer to what you are. And they'll make sure, try to at least help you out a little bit. It's still, I threw up twice after I woke up.
Sorry for anybody who gets queasy. Warning. We'll put a
Yes.
warning on the video.
And if you get queasy and you go through the surgery, especially you're probably going to barf. So don't be surprised by that fact. And it's okay. You know, it's something, everyone's different, but most people, like they said, throw up. So, and they come on. So they're totally knocking you out. Nothing is going to be moving around. If you tell them you have, like, I have a history of EDS in our family. So, basically I told them that, and they're like, okay, we'll be more careful with how we move you around, because you're totally knocked out. You're not going to be moving yourself, and neither are your muscles going to be responding very well. They're going to be stiff. So basically they have to move you around. I still have a scar right here, a little bit of a big bruise that's gone to a little bruise, but it was pretty bad. And it's been like 6 weeks since the surgery, so it was pretty crazy. But yeah, we just basically told them that, and so each doctor comes back, talks to you, explains that basically all they're going to do is go through the middle of your head, on the back part. They're not going to even go through any muscle, no, nothing like that. They're going to go right through, cut a small hole in your brain. I forgot how big it was exactly.
Your skull. Not your brain.
Sorry, not your brain. In your skull. In your skull. And they're going to go through, not touching any of the brain. They're just going to go right through the middle, because your brain is 2 hemispheres. And they're going to go right in the middle, and the pineal gland is actually right in the middle of those 2 hemispheres, on the bottom, near the bottom. And so they go in there, and they're going to take it out, and basically, I don't know how exactly to take it out. They're probably going to give you more detail later on. But all they do is take it out. They take it out in pieces. It doesn't come out whole. Maybe for some people it comes out whole, but for me it came out in pieces.
Right.
And basically they make sure they take all of it out, and then they'll close it back up with stitches in the inside and I think outside as well. And a plate, which is like a centimeter or a couple centimeters.
Yeah.
And then 7 screws, which are really tiny, even smaller than the ones in my classes. So they're microscopic practically. Yeah. But so if you think they're big screws and a big giant plate, at least if you go through patella, it's tiny. It's really tiny. So don't need to worry. They gave me 7 stitches on the outside of my head. They were dissolvable, so I didn't have to worry about taking them out. So that was nice. It could just heal over. You do want to maybe, if you want, just make sure you grab the stitches before they go anywhere.
Yeah.
But and yeah, that was about it. The swelling, it does swell up a bit. You're gonna have a nice big goose egg on the back of your head for a little while. So it's actually gone down, and I don't really have a bump there anymore. So 6 weeks, give it, and you're probably gonna be doing really good. So
I think for us, being in the waiting room, like, we knew what was gonna go down. We knew how, like, what kind of the operation was going in, the plate, the screws, all of it. It's flat. So I think some people have a whole strip of metal in the back of their head. We really recommend Patel because it's microscopic. I think there's someone in Australia who does similar. But as far as leaving a mark, like, you can't even see it anymore, and it's only been how long?
It's only been like 6 weeks.
Yeah. So yeah. But during surgery, it was definitely stressful, obviously, and we thought it was gonna be like 30-minute surgery. It ended up being like a 2-hour, which is super short for most people. We just thought it was gonna be significantly shorter, but we
actually thought it was
were
gonna be
great.
Really longer. So, I mean, it's your head when you think about it. So it's like, take as much time as you need. But
right.
Basically, we were talking to one doctor, and she actually got the surgery done too, and she was like, mine was like for like practically all day, and that's just crazy to think about because I was pretty much in and out, and I could talk. Right when I woke up, I was back to, I couldn't see very well, but I could talk and function right afterwards. Right. And some people don't have that. So I would say microscopic is definitely the way to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about the recovery and everything like that afterwards in a different video, but we just kind of wanted to give you kind of like what happened when we got the answer, what happened in surgery. If you guys have any questions in regards to it, like Jared said, we're going to put a couple of links in the description below to kind of give you some options as far as finding that out. But if there's some specifically to Jared or specifically just to us as a channel, we would welcome your questions and look forward to chatting with you. And yeah, anything we can do to help you guys to walk through these different things. We do want to shout out again to Patel and the whole staff there in the hospital. It was
MUSC.
MUSC.
Medical University of South Carolina.
Right, and so they were just great. We had some great staff, and that took care of him, and we're able to get him through that surgery kind of stress-free as much as it could be, and we're just so grateful for them. So shout out to all of you guys. Thank you so much. And we'd love to see you, but just not in those circumstances again. So thanks so much for watching our video. I know this was probably a longer than usual one, but we just kind of wanted to give you that update as far as surgery goes. Like I said, if you have any questions or like anything, guys, you're our family, your extended family through video, and we would love to answer those for you. And we look forward to talking about the recovery as he's still walking through that, but there's some stories. So we're going to share those stories that may embarrass Jared. So join us next time. Talk to you guys later. Bye.